Hello, listeners. I'm Russell, and this is The Science of Self, where you improve your life from the inside out. Today is the 3rd of May, 2022. We are revisiting today the topic of nutrition and our intake as it relates to our energy levels from Peter Hollins' book, Have More Energy. We previously discussed eating for glucose. Today, we talk about specific nootropics, or compounds that give a boost to our physiological states, as well as the importance of hydration. Drink more water, hydrate your brain, and keep your energy up. Thanks for joining us today. First, take a look at your diet as it currently is and figure out the foods you could replace. It can start in a small way. Have whole grain bread instead of white, bran flakes instead of sugary cereals in the morning, brown rice and other whole grains instead of white, and, of course, every fruit and vegetable, particularly those that have the highest fiber and water content. There's no need to strictly count carbohydrate grams or be too restrictive about your food choices. Instead, simply get into the habit of choosing the fuel for your body that will burn the longest and keep your metabolic fire ticking slowly and steadily, rather than cycling quickly between deathly tired and completely wired up. Start the day with oatmeal and fruit, some whole grain toast and peanut butter, or an omelet with veggies. Bran flakes or a smoothie with protein powder are also a great idea. For lunch, try a wholemeal bread sandwich with cheese, smoked salmon, chicken, or a veggie option like hummus. Serve this with a salad, or try a fiber-rich soup or some brown rice with veggies, tofu, or a boiled egg. For dinner, have more of the same, or try any meal that's evenly balanced between carbohydrates, fat, and protein, i.e., a protein source like meat or legumes, a carbohydrate source like a potato, brown rice, corn, or other whole grain, and a fat source like cheese, avocado, nuts, or olive oil. Instead of high GI bombs like ice cream or cake for dessert, try stewed fruit, herbal tea, or a few blocks of 75% dark chocolate. Overall, remember that GI isn't the be-all and end-all of a food. Some healthier options will actually have a GI rating higher than the unhealthier version, so always use your discretion. Remember, too, that overall GL matters, and that it's okay to have even super refined carbohydrates on occasion if they're paired with a mostly healthy diet and enjoyed only in small quantities. In the real world, there are many overlapping factors that determine the effect a food will have on blood sugar. GI is simply a guide. However, if you make a point to avoid eating obviously nutrient-poor refined carbs and balance the rest of your meals, you should reap the benefits. You obviously possess enough internet savvy to purchase this book, so you can easily research low GI foods and build your own meals and substitutions. One final thing to bear in mind is the timing of your meals. A steady, even blood sugar level is maintained if you eat moderately sized meals spaced evenly throughout the day. Though there's some evidence for the health benefits of fasting, the truth is that long periods with low blood sugar, or forcing the body into a ketogenic state, when you're burning your body fat stores for energy essentially, may be hell on mood and energy levels, even if it does help you shed a few quick pounds. Predictably, when you finally break your fast, insulin will also come rushing out, and a similar energy spike and crash will frequently occur. Opt instead for regularly spaced meals and avoid letting yourself get famished. This will only mean you have less willpower at the next meal to turn down unhealthy foods. Though you should watch the kind of carbohydrates you eat, there's no point in avoiding them altogether. If you demonize carbs and eliminate them entirely, you may find yourself feeling absolutely starving and grouchy for no good reason. Carbs are necessary for basic brain function and to power every aspect of your metabolism. Think of carbs as the kindling of your metabolic fire, protein as the structural component to help you repair and maintain your muscles, and fat as essential for energy, but also the proper functioning of your endocrine system and several other important mechanisms in the body. You don't need to give up drinking fruit juice or never have a donut again, but aim to eat well at least 80% of the time, and you'll iron out the bumps on that blood sugar roller coaster. Vegetables, whole grains, nuts, meat, dairy, and eggs will keep you stable and help you get on with the business of life. Shoring up deficiencies. Finally, there's one last way that your diet can help you achieve a more consistently high and stable energy throughout the day: supplements. A healthy diet is the first step and indispensable, but there's a lot you can do to give your body a boost on top of that. We've seen that energy imbalances can come from sleep or ignoring your circadian rhythms, from psychological problems, i.e. stress and trauma, and from physical or mental overexertion, i.e. pushing yourself beyond your natural limits until your body forces you to stop by burning out. But exhaustion, as we've seen, is also about nutrition, and not just on the macro level. Hidden vitamin and nutrient deficiencies or even hormonal disturbances can sneakily work to undermine energy levels in the background, even though we're doing our best to sleep well and de-stress. This is where supplements come in. You might have tried to implement some of the changes mentioned above, that is, getting better sleep, eating low GI foods, and still find that your focus is weak, your habits are poor, and you generally feel a lack of resilience and enthusiasm for life. Simply not being tired is not quite the same as being energized and wired up for life. If you've tried to relight that fire, and still you feel as though you're merely plodding along, you may need a little something extra. Supplements play two roles. They can be corrective and address some specific deficiency you have. For example, vitamin D capsules that correct an insufficiency and tackle the cause of your fatigue. Or they can be additive, meaning you take them without having any deficiencies, but because you want to enhance your performance, energy, or resilience. The latter are called nootropics, and could spell the difference between merely chugging along and getting stuck and actually making your dreams come true. You could ask your doctor for a blood test if you have persistent fatigue to help you identify any specific deficiencies. You could also opt for a DIY home test kit that's available in some areas. Common deficiencies leading to fatigue include magnesium, vitamin B12, and this is not just for vegans or vegetarians. Iodine, melatonin, vitamin D, especially live in a country that gets very dark over the winter. Coenzyme Q10 and iron, more common in women. If your fatigue is persistent, you may be surprised at how much energy can be gained from merely making sure your body is getting the micronutrients it needs. Don't make any assumptions. Even those of us who eat well can get vitamin and mineral deficiencies, so don't rule this possibility out. As for nootropics, there's a whole world of supplements out there designed to boost performance and well-being. Some supported by science, some only with anecdotal evidence. Red Panax ginseng, pine pollen, rhodiola rosea, and other adaptogens like ashwagandha, turmeric, tulsi, holy basil, and licorice root have all been hailed as great stress relievers, energy boosters, and general well-being tonics. These are all supplements that have a range of anecdotal and scientific backing, but everyone's body composition is different, so it's best if you perform your own due diligence. A note on water. Was there ever any debate over this? Being dehydrated significantly reduces your energy levels, mental performance, and overall brain health. Our brains are 70% water, so it stands to reason they are affected the most when you're in a state of dehydration. A UK study found that 90 minutes of sweating without additional hydration shrinks the brain as much as a year of aging, or almost 3 months of Alzheimer's disease. Kempton, 2011. Temporarily, one might hope. Another study suggested that driving while dehydrated can be similar to driving drunk because of the decrease in focus and reaction time, as well as impaired motor skills, Loughborough University, 2012. And there is very little margin for error as well. Significant detriments to analytical thought, short-term memory, long-term memory recall, problem-solving, and general cognitive performance were found in just a 1% level of dehydration. Rebel, 2013. Thus, drink more water throughout the day for more energy, and make sure both your body and brain are well-oiled and lubricated. Don't rely on feeling thirsty to understand that you need more water. Preempt this, because the thirst response does not activate until you are already dehydrated, and it'll be too late by that point. Take a proactive approach to drinking more water and account for weather, environmental conditions, or other factors that would necessitate greater intake. The old maxim of 8 glasses of water a day may not necessarily be accurate or even necessary, but you probably need more water than you're currently getting. Drink more water than you think you should, and you're on the right track to keeping your body fueled. If you enjoy the Science of Self, we'd appreciate it if you would rate and leave a review for us on whatever platform you're finding this content. Thanks for joining us today as we get into a new week, and we'll talk to you on Friday.